Hi, I'm Ali Reza, and in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can use N8N to create an agent workflow. But before diving into the building, I would like to give you an understanding about the agents and what makes them different from traditional LLM applications. So basically, in a traditional LLM application, you always have a single input, single output. There is no memory involved, so you have a lot of conversation. You might miss context, and also your LLM application cannot take any external actions. It's limited to the text responses, and it requires human to execute suggestions. So basically, every time you get any answer from ChatGPT, you still need to do something yourself in order to execute what you wanted to do. But when we talk about the agents, the story is completely different. Before going to the agent concept, I want to move a little bit further from the LLM application and say about the limitations. One of the limitations we had with the LLM application was the limited data. Large language model already consists of lots of information. But of course, it's not connected to your personal data. It's not connected to your organizational data, and it's not connected to so many of the information that might be restricted by public applications like ChatGPT, for example. So because of that, when you ask any questions regarding those data sources to LLM cannot give you any answer. So this is one of the limitations. The way we did address this problem was to creating RAG solutions. With the RAG solutions, we managed to configure the solution in a way that the LLM now have access to those restricted data, like personal data, like organization data, and then we utilize the LLM capability to generate the answer for us using the context is coming from our private information. But that was also not enough, because the LLM just is still creating some answers for us. But if there is something that you're asking is not in any of those data sources, what would happen? LLM still cannot give you an answer. Also, the data is in the LLM is trained, for example, a couple of months ago or a year before. There are lots of things has changed, and because of that, you cannot ask about any thing that is happened, for example, 1 week ago or 2 weeks ago. Then LLM cannot give you answer about those questions. Because of that, probably you need to connect LLM to the internet or any tools or API that LLM can make a query. And this is something that you cannot expect from any LLM applications, but that's exactly the reason that we create agent, because with agents, we are able to do all of these things. So looking at AI agents, the story is completely different, because now not only we can connect the AI agent to the old source of data, we can also connect the AI agents to different tools. And with that, agents can perform multi-steps workflow. They can maintain the context and memory. They can call various APIs. They can connect to your email, to your social media accounts, and update and publish content for you. They can also connect to your private databases, company databases, make a query or change things based on the questions you are asking. And also, they can make a lot of different decisions based on the input query you give to your agent. So basically, we are moving from the limited LLM application to more autonomous agent that can actually make different decisions and execute things once triggered. So I think now we know enough about the agents and why we are using N8N. N8N is one of the greatest tools that you can use to create agentic workflows. It supports hundreds of integrations, almost endless possibilities, I would say, that you can have with N8N. You can create multiple collections, create a parallel processing, lots of different things, and probably you have seen a lot of interesting workflows out there in internet, but now we are trying to create a simple agent today, which connects to several data sources and see how we can utilize the agentic workflow to create a simple agent that make a decision based on our input and go to different tools and give us answer. Let's get started. So first thing first, we need to create a new workflow. If you open your N8N workplace, you can create a workflow from here. So I create a new workflow. I think the best thing is to put the name before we forget. So I will call it a simple agent. Or maybe we need to add AI agent as well. So basically, what we need to do first for any agentic workflow is to create a trigger. And that means how this workflow gets started. So if I click here, I can get a lot of triggers to choose. I would like to go with on-chat message, which means every time I type any message to the chatbot, the trigger, it will trigger the workflow. So we want to create an agent, so immediately I can add the AI agent to my workflow, and here for now I don't need any extra configuration, so it's already connected to the chatbot. And as you can see here in this part, this is a place that you can start chatting with your chatbot here. And also you can get the logs here as well. It's quite interesting. We will see it in a couple of minutes how it works. When you add any AI agent to your workflow, you need to configure several things here. We have a chat model here. For the chat model here, I choose OpenAI chat model. For this one, you can choose the model. We can keep it as a GPT-4o mini. You can also choose F4o. So that should be fine. For the memory, I choose a simple memory. As you can see with the memory, what happens is that without memory, your chatbot becomes something like every time you send a message and you get the answer, the chatbot completely resets, and which means that it doesn't know anything about the previous conversations. But with having the simple memory here, what happens is that, as you can see here, we have a context window length, which means that it's gonna keep the for example 5 past interactions. So this is quite also interesting. When you add it to your agent, you also enrich your context, and the agent also understand what you asked previously. And we already have a complete agent now with only a connection to LLM. Let's just give it a try. So I always ask this repeated question: what is DevOps? And here, as you can see, it shows you already what kind of components are triggered, if it goes green or not. If everything is fine, you see this a green tick on each node, and basically it shows that the workflow executed successfully. Also, you can see what kind of components have been used to execute this query. Interesting part is here, because here you can also see the flow of the execution, what happened with AI agent, what kind of things happen. As you can see, AI agent use the simple memory to probably record the question we asked and also the answer. And also the OpenAI chat model also is being used to answer this question. And just because that's the only thing now, it's connected to the AI agent. This is the simple agent you can create, but still it's just connected to the LLM. So it's just like a LLM application. It's with the extra functionality of the memory. But what we want to do, we want to give extra capabilities to this agent. Recently, I also created a LinkedIn workflow, which means that if you like, you can create a workflow to create posts on LinkedIn in an automated way. And for that, I created another workflow, which I really suggest to give it a try, because this is interesting. If you learn this workflow, you can create a content almost for any social media, not only LinkedIn, and you can use your actually favorite content, topics, and things you want to post, and create a kind of a tailored solution. So I really suggest to follow this video. You can also download the template from my community, and the link of the community is under the video in the description, which makes it easier for people who are not still in the level to create everything from scratch. But you can start just adding the template to your N8N workplace, add just credentials and API keys, and give it a try and see how it works. Also can change a lot of things there. But that was not the idea. I want to create the Excel sheet actually, or Google sheet, that I created for this LinkedIn workflow, because with this LinkedIn workflow, I get the status of the published content, so I can also ask this chatbot about that. The way I'm going to do that, I'm going to add a new tool here. So here you need to look up for the Google Sheet and Google Sheet tool, and here you need to connect to your Google account or Google API. This is something that you need to set up once on Google, but then you can use the same connection to all Google services. The only thing you shouldn't forget is that for each service that you want to use in N8N or any other actually automation tools, you need to make sure that you enable the API on Google. There's a quite an interesting documentation out there. If you click on the docs here, it redirects you to the documentation from N8N, which gives you the straightforward steps how you can start creating your Google API key or any other credentials you need to do for other services. So here I don't need to configure anything. The only thing I need is to choose the document. I'm going to choose the same Google Sheet I have, LinkedIn Ideas, and from there I need to choose the sheet, which is main sheet, and I think everything is fine there. I can close that. So this is one of the tools I'm gonna add here. The other tool I want to add is the tool which is quite interesting, because in here what we want to do, we want also to connect this AI agent to an internet, because there are questions probably it's not possible to answer based on the LLM. So what we do, we are gonna use the internet tool or Google search tool to connect to an internet. For that one, I like to use the Google Search API. If you create a free account, you can use the 100 credits for free. So it's enough to give you the opportunity to give it a try. And after that, if you want, you can sign up for the subscription. For that, we create a HTTP request tool. And then we can actually I just copy paste the description I prepared just to avoid typing noise. So what we do here on the description for this tool is to say use this tool whenever you want to search on Google. The URL should be this one that we use on Search API to search. For the authentication, we can use the generic authentication, and then header here. And for that, I'm going to choose the Search API header. So basically here you can pass the authorization and the key that you get from the Search API. And after that, we need to send the query parameters. For that, you need to send some basically parameters here to make sure that you can run the. So I need to add engine to define what kind of engine we're going to use, Google, and then I need another parameter API key. For the API key, you need to paste your API key you got from the website. So, and then the last parameter is actually the important one is the query parameter that being used by agent whenever there's a question that agent wants to query on this API. And for that, we need to connect it to the chat input, because we want to pass the same question to internet and see what is the answer for that. And that's how we can actually use this API as well. So we need also to send the header, and also here I think we need to add this parameter application JSON. I think we have everything here ready. So this is one of the APIs I would like to connect. I'm gonna call it Google search here just to make sure. So the next tool I'm gonna add to our AI agent, it's about it's a weather tool, and that is for the time that you want to ask for the weather. For example, how is weather in your city? And LLM doesn't know anything about the real-time information. But with this tool, we can give this information to LLM, and LLM can actually query on the API. So for that, we connect to another tool. I'm going to connect to Weather API. Weather API is an interesting tool that you can use for free for 3 days, and that's also good enough to give you an opportunity to create an agent using this API. So we start from the description. I just copy paste it here, and for the URL, this is the URL. The authentication part, we send it through the query parameters. The first one is the authentication key, and then after that we need to pass the query. And that's it. I think we have everything ready, and now we are ready to test the agent. But before that, I forgot something, and that is putting the right name here. Weather API. Nice. Now we are ready to test our agent. I opened the chat here, and now let me start from the weather. So how is the weather in London now? So it's quite interesting. As you can see, the agent just went to the only weather API and not other tools. It also gives me the information about the weather. And this is quite nice to see how agent also works here, and you can see the all the steps it took. Now let's ask a question which probably LLM doesn't know about it, and that is about one of the series I watched recently. The name of the series is Severance. So let me ask this question. When was Severance season 2 released? It's interesting. It went to the Google search, and let's see if the answer is correct. Yes, the second season of the Severance was released on January 17, 2025, which is correct. So we tested the weather API, we tested Google search. Now let's ask something about the Google Sheets. As I showed you before, the Google Sheets now contain the list of the published articles. So I can actually ask this question here. Can you give me the list of recent published articles from my Google Sheet? So, oh, interesting. Now I was expecting goes to the Google Sheet, and as you can see, it is generating the list, hopefully. And nice, it gives me the list of the articles when they actually published. And it's interesting, I can actually click on some URLs also it retrieved from the document. So this is how agent works. As you can see, you can create an agent connected to multiple tools, and you can also configure your AI agent to tell AI agent how to decide. In this case, we didn't spend a lot of time on the prompting just because the agent was simple, and this AI agent in N8N using OpenAI model was able already to understand when to connect to Weather API, Google Search, or Google Sheet. But I think in a little bit more complicated scenarios, probably we need to draft a better prompting to make sure that the process is happening the same way we want. So I'm going to put this template to our community. So if you're interested, you can join the community and download the template over there. There are lots of other things are happening also. And I hope you like this video. So see you in the next video.